Hey everybody, Ron Lovett here. I'm just going to walk you through a few simple things on how we created a culture of innovation and autonomy and how we do that for our customers today. First off, I'll open it up by saying autonomy for a lot of us is terrifying. We don't want to have a culture of autonomy because we're terrified of what's going to happen, especially for those leaders and managers that are micromanagers. They are terrified. But I will say on the other side, employees are terrified as well. They're just like, oh my God, if all of a sudden I can make a decision, what if I fail? I'll get fired. So there's anxiety on both sides. And so what we did to combat that, especially in my past business being the private security sector, guards across the country that we'd never meet, working at our clients' locations, and I guess more backstory, being really frustrated with the fact that anytime we wanted someone to use common sense and make a decision on the front lines, even frontline leaders, they went and checked the policy book, and if it wasn't there, they blamed us. And so, there's this old saying in companies, if we want our people to grow, then we should allow them and the space to do that. Rules are made for children. And if you want your employees to act like children, then create more rules, more policies, procedures. So quite simply, and I forget where this came from, I think I read a book called Maverick, excellent book. A guy from Brazil bought his father's company, and he had thrown all the policies and procedures in the manufacturing space. And I was so inspired by that, but wanted to put some guardrails on this thing. And so we created, 3-question process to protect the company. Sorry, to execute this. So a 3-question process. And we wanted to cover a few bases. One question we wanted to protect the customer. One question we wanted to use to protect our business. And one question we wanted to use to drive accountability. I probably should have drawn a triangle. Hey, that was better. And so that's what we did. The 3 questions we created were, if you were going to do something, doesn't matter what position you were in the company, you'd ask yourself 3 simple questions. Question number 1 is, what I'm about to do, the decision I'm about to make, is it the right thing for the customer? Yes or no? Question number 2, is it the right thing for our business based on our purpose, our mission, our values? Yes or no? Does it help to move that along? Question number 3, am I willing to be accountable? And I can tell you really quickly the outcomes of that. First outcome, in some cases, people didn't make decisions that I would agree with. And like sports, real-time coaching. In sports, they don't wait until the end of the season, halfway through the season, end of the game. Your coach coaches you real-time after that play. We do the same thing. Coach in real-time. Hey, walk me through how you got to that decision. And we'd see how someone got there, and then we'd say, okay, great, let's talk about that. Let's walk through the questions. We'd talk about better solutions, collaborate around that, educate them. Maybe there's retraining in some cases, and then we would educate the entire organization. Hey, be careful when this happens. Here's a decision that was made. We want to educate the entire organization to be thoughtful of this and careful of that. And secondly, most important, probably 75% of the time, decisions were made that were better than we could have made at the boardroom table, than our leaders would have made. And so we would stop and celebrate, and this became the new standard. And so this really allowed us to give people their brains back. In my business, allowed me to cut mid-level management as well. We just didn't need mid-level managers. If they couldn't turn into coaches, they were gone. And so this allowed us to stay nimble. It allowed our people to flourish. We get to see who the next leaders were. And it held people accountable. I mean, the data doesn't lie. We didn't go to the labor board once in the last 5 years of owning my company because of this decision-making process, because I would say, hey, in our business, if a security guard played video games and fell asleep, I'd say, look, was that the right thing for the customer? No. Was it the right thing for our business based on our purpose of changing the industry? No. But unfortunately, you have to be accountable for that decision. So you've made the decision to leave the organization. Completely protected us. Transformational for my business. I hope that helps. That's my 5-minute tidbit. Good luck out there, and create an atmosphere, environment of autonomy that allow people to innovate. Thank you.